Hey guys, what I've got here is my Realme X50 Pro smartphone. This is a very interesting device. It's got a 90Hz Super AMOLED display. It's got dual selfie cameras at the front, quad cameras at the back. But one of the coolest features is its charging. This has got a 65-watt charger. That is insane. Now they call it SuperDart. That's what they're calling their SuperDart charger. There it's there. And as you can see, it can charge at 65 watts. Now, if you're not familiar with wattage and the charging capabilities of phones, etc., most phones today probably charge at 15 watts. And you get fast charging phones that charge at 18 watts, and there's a lot of Android phones now that charge at 30 watts. This charges at 65 watts. Now, to put that into perspective, my Dell XPS 13 laptop charges at 45 watts. This charges at 20 watts less than my smartphone, which just boggles the mind. Now, that fast charging capability, those 65 watts, allow this to charge up to 100% in 35 minutes. At least that's what the developers, the manufacturers claim. Realme say that you can get to 100% in 35 minutes. So rather than take their word for it, I did a couple of tests today where I did some tests. I charged it up to full, burned the battery down and did the test again. And I didn't get to 100% in 35 minutes, but the results were equally as impressive. For the first test, what I did was connect the cable, switched on the screen, kept Wi-Fi on, kept 4G and all my calls and all that on so that I kept getting all the notifications, so everything was running. And I got to a 20% charge in 5 minutes. I got to 40% around the 10-minute mark. I got to 60% in 16 minutes. And it took me 22 minutes, 40 seconds to get to 80%. Now, around that 80% mark, you start to get really slow charging because of trickle charging, etc. And that's in your best interest because it protects your long-term health, for your battery. It saves your battery and it reduces the cycles. So that's in your interest. But it did slow down the charging to 100%, and I didn't reach 100% until 46 minutes and 45 seconds. Now that seems way off, 11 minutes longer than their 100% charge in 35 minutes. But it's important to remember that I forced this screen to stay on because I wanted to see the charging number so that I could show you guys, how quickly it was charging. So I reckon, this has got a Super AMOLED display that does use up a lot of battery. So I reckon I would have shaved off 3 or 4 minutes at least by just keeping the screen off, perhaps more. Now, what I did for the second test was burn the battery down. I used an app for that, a drainer app. I burned it down, but before I switched it off, I switched to airplane mode so that when it switched back on, it was in airplane mode already. Now, I kept the screen off this time as well. Now, I managed to charge to 100% for this test under 37 minutes. Now, I reckon I could have got under 35 minutes if I had, maybe removed, uninstalled some apps that are clearly burning up some battery here with the CPU. I don't know the exact time here. My guess is it's about 36.5 minutes because I checked it at about the 36-minute mark and it was at 99.5%. And then I checked it just after 37 minutes and it was already at 100%. So I missed the second that it turned to 100%. But, it's about, what's that? It's about 9 minutes quicker or 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes quicker by switching off Wi-Fi and all that and just put it into airplane mode. So you can save a good 9 minutes or so by putting on airplane mode. So if you're at a push and you want the quickest charge and the longest charge into your battery when you're going out for the day and you don't have a lot of time, you're obviously going to switch on airplane mode. Regardless of me not being able to meet the exact specifications of the manufacturer, I was incredibly impressed. And I have been using this every day. It's my main phone right now. And it really is changing the way that I use this phone, without a doubt, because you get really lazy with the charging. Like normally I would charge my phone when I notice it going down to 20, 30%, etc. But I saw myself leaving it going way down because I know that it's only going to take me, like a 10, 15 minute charge to get back up to a really good level where I can use it for the rest of the day. So it really has changed the way that I use this phone. So stay tuned for more videos, guys. I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the user interface. I'm going to do camera tests and do some other things. But when it comes to charging, I have not come across a phone as good as this. The charging on this is absolutely incredible. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care.